So I just finished my video on the BA Executive Club, a bit of a guide, general overview. That one was quite brief, so I thought I'd do a bit more detailed review of the tiers, what are good, what are bad, and how I rank them. Okay, so I am going to talk about each of the tiers. I'm going to talk about the perks, and I'm going to give them a mark. I'm going to say first class, premium economy for the stuff in the middle, and bog standard economy, which is it's not really worth it. So if we quickly start with the core benefits of all tiers, these are fairly standard. They just give you the right to collect Avios, which I think I explained is the air miles currency. You can create household accounts. You can purchase Avios, gifts Avios, the usual sort of stuff. So this is your bog standard entry level membership. How the loyalty program works and the perks: get tier points for flying, depending on where you go. And of course, the cabin you choose. The higher the cabin, the more tier points. Now, tier points are collected annually. BA did have a different way of doing it, but they're basically consolidating it to a kind of almost a financial year, running from I think it's March to April to March or something like that. So it's all going to be consolidated, I think, over the next year or so. But basically, you have usually a 1 year window to get the allocated points to move up the ranks. So you started off with zero, and that's the blue membership. Your first goal is 300 tier points, which gets you to bronze. Now let's look at the perks of bronze. Okay, so first of all, you get an increase in your Avios points. Hey, I'm going to say that's 25%, I think it is. I'm going to say that's a premium economy level perk. It gives you a little bit more currency in terms of your bucks go a bit further. So hey, it's not a bad thing. It's better than obviously the slightly lower rate that you get with blue. So first perk is your business class check-in and priority boarding. Now, I'm going to give business class checking a rank of a first. I really think that that does make a big difference, certainly in places like Heathrow and some of those other big airports that can get really busy. Having that business class line, even if you're flying economy or premium economy, having that access to the business class can really make things a lot quicker and a lot speedier. Priority boarding, I'm going to give that a premium economy, mainly because it only really works on the big long haul flights. That's when they tend to do excuse me, they do group numbers, so 0, 1, 2, 3, which is sort of premium, and then it's gold, silver, bronze. So that does get you ahead of the queue. And I think if you're flying economy in some of those certain routes, I won't name names, that can be quite intense, quite feisty in terms of trying to get on board. I would say this does cross into a first. However, on those short haul flights, it tends to be that more often than not, I'm finding that BA just announce can groups 1 to 3 come on, in which case it sort of drops down a bit. But overall, I'd say premium economies are probably about the right level for it. Next on the perks list for bronze is choose your seats in advance. I'm going to give this a premium economy because there's the caveat that it's 7 days in advance of the flight. This is nowhere near the perk of silver and gold, which lets you do it at the time of booking, which makes such a difference. But even those 7 days, I think, can make a major impact on seating arrangements because if you're not a frequent flyer, checking in, I used to hate that experience of having to check in 24 hours and scramble around to see if you can get a seat together. But I think just having the chance to book your seat 7 days in advance just gives you that edge and a little bit of peace of mind that you know where you're going to sit on the plane rather than that sort of 24-hour panic that sometimes sets in. So definitely a premium economy. Can't be too bad. Which brings us on to the last perk. This one, I'm not even going to say it's a perk, but the priority at baggage arrival services desk. This I'm going to put in economy. I'm going to put it in economy by the toilets with a screaming child behind you or in front of you. Ultimately, what it's saying is if we lose your bags, we're going to put you to the front of the queue. Yeah, great. You've still lost my bags. So where are my bags? Doesn't matter. I could be at the front of the queue, the back of the queue. If my bags aren't on the plane, they ain't coming anytime soon. So, yeah, sorry, it's a no from me on that one. Right, so if I am going to summarize, bronze is better than blue and it's better than nothing. The little boost to your Avios points is good, and the business class check-in with a hint of the old priority boarding when it works is definitely a good option to get you on your way to the bigger tiers. And speaking of which, let's go to silver. Silver is 600 points, so it's double the points of gold, but this is really where things begin to pick up. Let's see what we have. The lounge, the lounge. Oh, I can't speak highly of the lounge. Uh, the lounges, the BA lounges in Gatwick and Heathrow are pretty good. You get access to lounges in nearly, well, practically every One World Alliance airport. So that is a brilliant, brilliant perk. That is definitely a first perk for me. It's so much more relaxing to spend some time in the lounge. You usually can charge all your phones okay. You can stock up on water. Usually some pretty good stuff to eat. Have a few drinks if you like, but it is so much better than having to sit out in the push and pull of a very busy airport. So 100% brilliant for me. I love that one. As with bronze, you also get the business class check-in, which is as before, first class option for me. First class perk makes such a difference. See the previous for a summary on those. Okay, so the next three under the tailored service I am going to put together as a group. So the first one is the free seat allocation. Unlike bronze, where you have 7 days, you get it the moment you book. This is a godsend. So good, so positive. You know, peace of mind where you sat on the plane. You can usually pick the seats that you want, the best seats in the house. So that is awesome. The checked baggage that goes up to two pieces, so you not only well, you double your baggage allowance. That takes all the hassle out of stressing over how much weight and how many bags you can do. The weight allowance of 32 kilos. Again, I think it's 23 for economy. So I just just brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. First for all three. I'll summarize it as a tailor's herbalist. First. Thank you, thank you. Of course, you also do have the step up in Avios from 25%, I think it was, to 50% for silver. So that's a final nice little boost. I'm going to give that, I might stick that with premium economy just because the gold boost is so good. But yeah, that's pretty much what you've got for silver. To wrap up silver, then, this is a substantial step up from bronze, but not necessarily a substantial outlay in terms of the extra points. From 300 to 600 is pretty doable, actually. So the amount of perks that gives you get for silver membership is definitely worth pursuing, and such a step up from bronze. Now on to the big boy gold members. So we've gone from 300 points for bronze to 600 points to get to silver. It's a whopping 1,500 points to get to gold. That is unattainable for a lot of people. It was unattainable for me for many years until I was able to use the double tier points hack. So let's see what we can get here in terms of gold benefits. Actually, I'm going to be pretty honest. For the price, it's not. The first of all, yeah. So you get actually 100% Avios points boost. That is definitely a first because if you start traveling in business or first class cabins, you are going to get a stonking amount of Avios. So that is one of those perks I would definitely recommend as a first class perk. Now the first class lounges. Okay, I'm going to give the this a first uh, but with a caveat. So the first class lounge is really good at Heathrow. You get to go through the first class wing and first class security. So the whole experience is very chic, very exclusive. The lounge itself is pretty good. It's nice. It's an upgrade from business, but the food I don't think is that different. The drinks aren't that different, other than maybe the wine and some of the champagne. The first class lounge in Gatwick I really like because so few people go via Gatwick that it's really quiet. The problem I find with the Heathrow one is it gets super busy. And because there's a lot of solo travellers, because it's business travellers, there's a lot of people sat around on their own or using up tables. So it can get a little bit annoying. But if you are using it, then it's definitely a first perk. However, outside of Heathrow and I think um, New York, I think, has maybe got one or something. There's no other first class lounges, I believe, for BA anywhere in the world. So it's pretty much only a one-way street going from Heathrow or Gatwick. Okay, moving on to a tailored service. These ones we have the free seat selection. Well, we have that in silver, so that's nothing new. An additional free check bag in any class. So I think that's 3 bags rather than 2 bags. I think that would be good if you're a family. Traveling with family, absolutely fine. I don't have a family, so that is way too much baggage allowance for me. But I appreciate that will be a really important perk for other travellers. Certainly, if you've got a large family or travelling for a long time. 32 kilos again. Yep, same as silver, so nothing new there. No, so for these ones, I'm going to give it premium economy simply because it's pretty much the same with a few bells and whistles on it. Then you may as well just have silver membership for this one, to be honest. Aside from the extra baggage allowance. A final couple of perks. The first one is the arrivals lounge in Heathrow. This is really a useful thing to have, especially if you're traveling from the States. You get the full breakfast. There's plenty of space there because not many people can actually use it. As you can see, it's only gold members or silver members with first or club. The showers are really useful to have, so it's a great way to freshen up. The only trouble is you can't take a guest in there. So I'm going to give the arrival lounges. I'm going to give it a first. Obviously, it's quite limited in the scope that you can only use it in Heathrow, but the ability to land, freshen up, get some food, the good quality food, I think, and also get a proper sort of shower is worth its weight in gold. Well, not literally, but it's just a great perk. One last thing I found since getting to gold membership that you don't tend to get in bronze or silver is the perk of how the staff treat you, which is definitely first. The customer service at BA always has been amazing, but there's just that personalisation. When I think you're a gold member. Every flight we got on, or I've got on since getting to gold, it's always been, "Hello, Miss Collins, can we get you anything?" Blah blah blah. So it's been really, really fantastic. So they've got a great level of service, but having that extra level above that is just something that definitely I put as a first perk. But in conclusion, I'd probably say, I mean, I love the experience of gold, but without the double tier points, I wouldn't be able to get there. So I would probably stick with silver. It's attainable at 600 points. That's where the vast majority of the sort of the key perks come in. The gold perks are a great addition to that, but if you really want to sort of travel in not luxury, but travel with a certain amount of comfort with lounge access, business class check-in, that kind of stuff. I would go for silver. In an ideal world, of course, it would be gold, but it's not an ideal world. Anyway, I hope that proved relatively useful, and good luck to you as you work your way up the ranks. And see you soon.